Good morning, Anna Chisholm with ABC Goulburn Murray News. Shepparton United Soccer Club secretary says she hopes the excitement around the Women's World Cup will lead to interest in the local amateur competition. It comes after Shepparton-born Matilda Courtney Vine kicked the decisive penalty on Saturday night, securing the team's spot in the semi-finals against England on Wednesday. Vanessa Loverso says she would love to see more participation in women's soccer locally, from players to spectators.
I'm really hopeful that it's going to have a really positive effect and it will really boost female participation, especially around the local area here.
Anna Chisholm, I don't think I've had so much fun on a Saturday night for quite some time. It was a bit of a roller coaster ride where I was. I was watching it on the big screen at the Albury Brew House with the Albury United ladies, and it was exciting, but gee, it was 2 hours of just edge of your seat, hoping and wishing they'd score. And the goalie, she's my hero.
She's very impressive, isn't she?
Mackenzie Arnold is as cool can be.
Just so formidable. I would love to just possess, a modicum of that kind of energy.
I know. Just come on, and yeah. And after she had a kick herself, didn't quite commute to a goal, and then had to get back in there and pretend it's okay, shake it off.
It's fine. And, lucky Courtney Vine from Shepparton's own.
I know, that's so exciting, isn't it? And she was just so nonchalant about it as well. It's amazing. Anyway, all eyes on Wednesday. Anna, thank you.
Anytime.
Shepparton has already made dibs on the World Cup touring the Goulburn Valley first in honour of Courtney Vine, who was born there. This Wednesday, the Matildas face off against England in a semi-final match at Stadium Australia in Sydney. They kick off at 8 p.m. I'm a bit nervous, fingers and toes and everything in between. Shepparton United Soccer Club secretary Vanessa Loverso will be one of those cheering the Tillies on. As she told the ABC's Anna Chisholm, it was a dramatic win against France.
I don't think anyone predicted it would probably go to penalties, and I probably haven't seen a penalty shootout like that all the time I've been watching. So it was definitely a nail-biter, especially since France were missing, and then, all we needed to do was sort of slot one through to sort of win it, and then we would miss. So it was, definitely a nail-biter in the end, and I think everyone sort of held their breath at a number of occasions throughout the penalty shootout. So, it was very exciting.
What was the atmosphere like where you were?
Well, I was just at home, but there was only a few of us at home. It was probably about 5 or so, but it was very loud. Yeah, I had my daughter pretty much jumping up and down after the game, and I think everyone was sort of on the couch just pretty much with their fingers in their mouths, just chewing on their nails.
And it's maybe even sweeter locally because the Matilda's Courtney Vine, who shot that final penalty, is from Shepparton.
Yes, we were probably just made aware of this at the start of the World Cup. So Courtney Vine was born in Shepparton. I'm not sure what age she was when she left. Pretty exciting for Shepparton. I think, I was talking to someone yesterday, and they said even if she left at the age of 3, we'll claim her as one of our own. Yeah, it's really exciting. And I'm sure she realises too where she was born, and it's great for the town to have, someone from the Matilda squad actually born in Shepparton.
Are you hopeful that all the buzz and excitement around the Women's World Cup is going to lead to some positive things for local soccer, especially for the girls and women's sides?
Yeah, definitely. What we probably lack locally is a lot of female participation. So we tend to find that they might start in the kinderoos or prep, but then sort of once they reach that age group where they're old enough to play netball, they'll go off to netball and tend to go along with their friends. So we're hoping that, this is the first year that we've actually had a second girls team in our club. So usually we've just got the open women's side. In the past, we've had under 16s that have played in the local comp, but since then that comp's not going. So we're in the Bendigo comp for us, because in the past we sort of haven't, you've had to recruit players that, have either played before, but years ago, but not really young ones, because the young ones were doing other things like working or netball, but now we're sort of breeding them from a younger age and letting them come through the juniors. So we're hopeful with that, and with the World Cup especially, that it's going to encourage a lot of girls to actually take up the sport, even if they haven't played before, because a lot do have potential if they've played other sports like, hockey or netball. They probably don't realise that, with those sports behind them, they actually are better players because they've got a bit of a sporting knowledge and just positioning as well. Yeah, really hopeful that this will lead into a lot more female participation, because we'd love to see, I suppose, around Shepparton, the junior girls coming through really young and actually having a junior girls comp in the junior competition. It's hard. It's been really hard to recruit for the women's squad. So just if you have an interest from an early age, but with the younger girls, it's just so much easier to have those and develop those girls from a young age and let them come through the ranks, your senior rank. So it's, really, I'm really hopeful that it's going to have a really positive effect. It will really boost female participation, especially around the local area here.
And as a soccer player yourself, does it feel good just to have so much positive publicity and attention on a women's sport? Obviously, the Matildas are a big deal, but
because you would think, it being the World Cup, that it would really be publicised. World Cup is publicised, definitely, but the actual local competition probably lacks. It would be great, to attract more spectators, and the local competition is quite strong. It's only an amateur competition, but, it is exciting to watch.
Get behind your local soccer now. They're into their finals and they'd love to see you there. That was Shepparton United Soccer Club Secretary Vanessa Loverso speaking there to the ABC's Anna Chisholm. And of course, we're all behind the Matildas. Go the Tillies.
On ABC Victoria, this is Mornings with Jonathan Kendall.
Yes, good morning. Good to have you with me at 9:05. The Matildas are on the road to the Holy Grail. That's the World Cup. They're through to the World Cup semis after a thrilling victory on Saturday night against France. You probably saw or heard it.
Courtney Vine for the semi-finals. She scores! She pulls away! And the referee says that is all over. Australia have won.
In the Latrobe Valley. Just speaking of the Matildas, though, Shepparton-born, Queensland-raised Courtney Vine is chatting here on Saturday after the big win and after kicking the match-winning goal.
It's almost like a fairy tale's just been written for you tonight. Is this something that you hope to tell your kids, your grandkids, everything like that in 20, 30, 40 years to come?
I do think this is something that I'll be able to tell my whole life, and, to think this is our first semi-final at a World Cup, and, my penalty was the one that got us there. I'm feeling very blessed that I got to take that last penalty and secure the spot for us. I'm lost for words with how I feel. It's just amazing.
I have to ask you, there were so many missed penalties, so much tension, but what were the nerves like genuinely when you stepped up? Were you 100% confident you were going to put it away?
To be honest, I think Macca did the work for me. She saved that penalty and there was no pressure really for me. If I missed, we still had another chance, and I think I looked in and just thought that gave me confidence that there's not much pressure right now with Macca saving the one before, and I just have to be confident in my kick and know where I'm going to kick it, and that's what I did. And again, I think props to Macca, she got me in that position that I got to, get us to a semi-final.
Shepparton-born, Queensland-raised Courtney Vine chatting after that huge win on Saturday and after kicking the match-winning goal. Well, Rebecca Peterson and Kirsten Rush have been travelling across the country and to New Zealand to watch the Matildas play, and they'll be heading to Sydney to watch the semi-final this Wednesday against England. Oh, good morning to you both. Beck, morning. Kirsten, how's your heart, Kirsten?
Oh, well, absolutely lost for words. It was terrifying and exciting and every other emotion. Yeah. Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah. And Beck, where do you think this ranks amongst the most stressful moments of your life?
Well, when we get home, I'm booking an appointment with a cardiologist because I think my heart's just aged 20 years.
Yeah.
It was horrible. I was on the edge of my seat, out of my seat. I couldn't watch. I wanted to watch. It was like a train wreck, really. I just couldn't look away.
Yeah. And because I remember, Kirsten, talking to you about you were a bit wary about Canada. And, of course, there was a big win there. The Matildas juggernaut just continues to roll on. Can you believe that Australia is 2 wins away from winning a World Cup?
No, not at all. That match against Canada was what I think gave us, and the supporters and the players as well, the team, just the confidence they needed to get through to this stage. Getting through to a semi-final is unreal. We are 1 win from a final, so it's crazy.
We were just talking about the number of people watching the matches. It's the most watched TV show this year, and it's actually the most watched sporting event since Kathy Freeman's run in the 2000 Olympics. Can you believe that it's that big, Beck?
No, never. If you had told me that was going to be the case, 5 years ago, I wouldn't have believed you. It almost makes me emotional to know that so many people are behind, these athletes and the sport that we love. Really, it's just I'm in awe thinking about it.
And Kirsten, does it feel like an historic moment for women's sport in Australia?
It's absolutely a historic moment. We've got a women's team that, on the world stage doing really well, and we've got so many people in Australia tuning in and watching and supporting it. It's unreal.
Yeah. And what about you, Beck? Do you think this will change women's sport in Australia now?
I truly believe it will. If there was ever a change to come, now is the right time. You've got these girls competing on world stage, showing everyone what women in sport can do. Now is the perfect time to see that change.
Yeah, okay. Kirsten, have you thought about a team song for the Matildas? What should that be, do you think?
We've got a couple of the songs that we've created. It's a Sweet Courtney Vine song, so we sang that quite loud the other day instead of Sweet Caroline. We want to get that up and running. We've been trying that for a bit. As a team song, I reckon. There's a version of Waltzing Matildas that the Matildas active supporters sing, and it's slightly different words, but it suits perfectly. So I reckon that's the way to go. If you look that song up, that's perfect.
Yeah, okay. There's a text here though saying, Beck, I can't help but feel that there's so much hype happening around the Matildas right now. I admire what they've achieved, but the media hype could put the moz on them.